Hello and welcome back to No Bullshit. Today we're talking about the Fortnite gaming sensation again. As the survival shooter game continues to sweep the world by storm, well, with that popularity also comes detractors too. Haters are bound to pop up on trends like this, and this time is no exception. This time it's an Australian news team from 9 News, who's got their panties in a bunch. A couple of the female, likely SJW reporters over there are up in arms about Fortnite. They say it's part of a recent violent video game craze, and they also say it's a dangerous game that makes kids more aggressive. And of course, on all of these points, I beg to differ. Let's start by taking a look at an article from honeyat9.com called Popular Online Game Fortnite Making Kids Aggressive. Check this out. There's a new online game children are obsessed with. It's called Fortnite, and I first became aware of it a few days ago when I announced to my children that it was time to leave the house, and my teenager lost his lolly. Oi, Mum, I have to finish this. Can't you wait? I just need a few more minutes. I'm doing like a British accent instead of an Australian accent. You know what I mean. Pretty heavy on the Australian dialect here. Let me see if I could translate this for you guys though. Basically, this Aussie reporter / mother just became aware of the game Fortnite a few days ago, and now she's trying to speak with authority on the matter because she writes shitty pop culture related articles for 9 News. And apparently one time she asked her kid to stop playing, but he asked for a few more minutes. And now, based on just that, this reporter thinks Fortnite is making kids aggressive. Totally fucking ridiculous. Teenagers get aggressive sometimes. Kids that are growing up have hormones. They have emotions and tempers too. This is normal behavior, and it's not caused by the video game. It's caused by biology. But hey, let's go ahead and read on in the article anyway. Let's see what else they got to say. So I wasn't even a bit surprised to hear that parents around the world are concerned at the levels of aggression coming from their children when playing the game. I've seen discussions on social media on both public forums and private ones. Gaming addiction isn't anything new for parents. However, it's the level of engagement demanded by this particular game that is causing concern. The thing is, Fortnite doesn't require any more engagement than any other game. Maybe it seems more exciting or more intense since it's played online in competition with others, but that's not unique to Fortnite either. This isn't even the first game to do this. No, what really sets Fortnite apart is it's extremely popular right now, and that's the reason uptight SJW reporters are going after it. It's the same reason they go after popular movies and TV shows. Lefties, especially women, love to invade and destroy popular male spaces. Whether it's because they're jealous or they want attention too, or they want to look cool or something. Whatever it may be, they always do this. It's been happening to Marvel and in comic books for years now, in video games too, and we hear about them trying to do it to movies and television shows. It's an ongoing struggle. Fortnite is an online game that connects children with their friends as they battle it out against evil forces. UK mom Suzanne says the game is different because of the concerning level of engagement. Okay, now we're seeing how little these reporters actually know about the game. Children don't connect with their friends to fight evil forces. Maybe there's a campaign or story mode I don't know about, but most people aren't playing that at all. 90 to 95% of the people playing Fortnite are doing the Battle Royale modes, in which the player fights against other players, not evil forces. And as to the other point, like I've already said, there's no extra level of engagement to Fortnite, not over any other similar game. They're screaming at the television. They're hiding in the game. They're calling each other's names. They're hiding in bases. They're living in it. She told ITV show this morning. All their friends are in it. It's just different. Okay, we get it. Kids like this game. They get into it and yell and scream and stuff too. But this is what kids tend to do anyway, especially teenagers. If it wasn't this game, it would just be another one. Or before video games, kids were playing board games or outdoor games, riding their bicycles, racing, or playing sports. My point is, this isn't the game's fault. It's no one's fault, really. It's just kids being kids, boys being boys. If your kid is getting more out of control, though, I would turn around and blame the parents before I would blame Fortnite. Fortnite isn't the scapegoat these parents want it to be. And not to knock on the game or anything, it is fun, but it's also not this out there groundbreaking new technology either. There's no extra level of engagement. It's just another fun third-person shooter, a survival game. There's been many before. These parents and reporters keep acting like Fortnite is particularly bad or something when it's really not. It's just particularly popular, and then they see it around everywhere because of that, and this confirms their bias. She feels it's young children who are particularly vulnerable because while playing, they do feel it's real. And then when they try and come out of it and come downstairs, everything's boring, she said. It can't complete. I think she meant compete. In fact, she's taken the game off her son and plans to delete it. Poor kid, losing his damn game. What a shame. 2 things about this though. First of all, Fortnite isn't a very realistic game at all. There's no blood, no wounds, and the characters are basically cartoons. Sure, there is shooting and blowing people up, but it's not in a realistic or overly violent way. No blood or gore. This game is actually pretty PG, all things considered, so I don't know if kids are really thinking it's so real. I think they're just really into it because they like the game and they want to win. The other thing this reminds me of is the whole violent video games are bad campaign. We've seen from parents and idiot reporters time and time again over the years. I remember back when I was a kid in the 90s, they were up in arms about Mortal Kombat and other fighting games. The thing about that is, it's been proven over and over again that video games don't make kids violent or aggressive. In fact, if anything, games help kids release their aggression by giving them something to focus on. So, if anything, the games are actually helping relieve these problems. And the bottom line is this: these kids are already aggressive, angry, hormonal teenagers. The video games aren't the problem here, it's their biology. As an experiment, I let Philip know he could only play for 30 minutes before we had to leave, and then commenced a countdown so he wasn't taken by surprise when I said it was time to pack up. "Guys, I have to leave in 10 minutes, he eventually told friends who made up his support team. So no tantrum this time, just a little grizzling, which I consider a parenting win. And this is what a real mother would do in the first place. Learn to adapt your parenting technique for the better. Don't blame your kid's bad behavior on a video game. That's not going to fix anything or help at all. And it's also not true. The real solution here isn't to attack the video game or the company who made it. The solution is to help your kid, parent them, and teach them self-control and moderation." Now before we go, let's check out this video from 9 News about the same story.
Now first up, there are major concerns about a popular kids game. I know you know this from first-hand experience. What can you tell us?
I surely do. So the game that is probably frustrating a lot of parents right now, it's called Fortnite. So if you haven't heard about it, if you don't have boys or girls in that age group, it's a co-op game. So you play with other people online. And 98% of the world's population has been wiped out, and there are zombies who've come down from the clouds, and you have to work together with up to 4 of your friends to help, restore the Earth to its former glory.
I love hearing normies trying to explain this game. You can always tell they're reading the game's description from the official website or something, because it sounds like it's right when they read it, but really it's not what the game's about at all. They don't get what Fortnite's about, really. Like this whole story about the world ending and the zombies and stuff. I didn't even know about this part of Fortnite until months later. This shit doesn't even come up for the average player playing the game on Battle Royale, the mode everyone's using. So if I were explaining this game, if I was on the news, I would just say it's a third-person shooter, a survival game. Players are dropped on an island and they grab weapons, build forts, and then they try and attack each other. That's about it. It's a survival, third-person shooter video game. The players kill each other and try and survive. The zombies and the end of the world stuff really isn't much of a part of it. It's just a small backstory that no one really gets to. At least not anyone I know.
Sounds like a bit of fun.
Yeah.
But the concern is coming from parents groups over the level of aggression we're getting out of kids. Because it is a game that you are playing with your friends, if you have to dip in or out of the game, the kids aren't happy. And I know with both my boys play it, and it is the most common thing that you'll hear is, "Oh, just 5 more minutes. I need 5 more minutes. I'm in the middle of a game. I can't stop."
You're getting aggression out of your kids, so you blame the video game they're playing. Did you ever think to maybe blame the kids? Or, I don't know, maybe, just maybe you could blame your parenting. Or you know what? Maybe if this reporter was at home more with her kids, raising them herself, maybe if she stopped trying to play this pretend wannabe reporter on TV, maybe then her kids might act better. Or maybe not. I don't know. I think most of this is just natural aggression coming from teenagers, which they all exhibit at one point or the other. And since they all happen to be playing this game too, parents want to blame Fortnite, instead of doing the much harder and much more self-reflective thing and blaming themselves.
And it just becomes a really, really addictive thing for them. And when you've got such excitement with a video game like this, suddenly real life is not that exciting anymore. So a lot of parents are finding this really, really hard to navigate.
Yeah, that is tough. So you're telling me you've got 4 different friends, they might be all sitting in their own homes playing this game.
Exactly.
So they're under pressure to sit there and finish the game.
Exactly.
From their peers. How are you dealing with it in your house?
Exactly. Oh, look, by hiding the remotes is pretty much the way that it works.
From their peers. Man, that Aussie accent is much worse in person. Good thing these chicks are good looking though. They're not the brightest bulbs in the bunch, but they are easy on the eyes. I'll give them that.
Look, in my place, we have a rule that there are no computer games Monday to Friday.
Okay.
So I'm not going to tell you where I've hidden the remotes, kids. They are hidden away. Then on the weekends, they're allowed to play. But yeah, that is right. You've got kids in bedrooms all around the country playing together on games with their headsets rather than actually playing together in real life.
Yeah, it's
because kids playing in real life never get mad or aggressive. Please. Boys will be boys. We all know that. If these kids weren't getting mad at Fortnite, it would just be another video game or another type of game, a sport or a hobby. In the end, these reporters and SJW mothers may have found a problem, but their explanations for it are all wrong. Sure, kids, especially teenagers, they can be aggressive. They can talk back and be little shits too, but that's not because of video games. And it's not because of Fortnite in particular. Fortnite isn't a particularly violent or aggressive game either. It's just not. No offense, but there's nothing that special about Fortnite, except that it's a well-executed survival game. It's not the first, and it sure won't be the last. And in actuality, Fortnite is just the most popular game at the moment right now. So weak-minded, SJW bent parents are trying to use it as a scapegoat for all their problems. They want to blame their kids' problems on Fortnite because that's much easier than admitting the real problem, which is probably their kids or themselves and their parenting. Because let's face it, sometimes kids are just bad and there's not much you can do about it. And other times you can parent them better and they might act better or they might not. Either way, video games are not to blame here. And in my opinion, Fortnite didn't do nothing. What do you guys think? Is 9 News way off base here? Is Fortnite making kids aggressive? Is it a dangerous game? And are violent video games really a problem to begin with? Comment your thoughts on everything below, and thanks for watching No Bullshit. See y'all next time.